Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. This has been another long-awaited skincare review. You guys know the drill at this point. I try a product for 4 to 6 weeks, specifically from one brand. I try and do a whole range of skincare products from that brand. I give those products a try and then I sit on camera here with you guys and I tell you a little bit about my thoughts, how it worked for me, and I hopefully educate you guys a little bit on the products, the brand, and all that good stuff. So I asked you guys over on Instagram what you wanted to see after my last review, which I believe was Pie Skincare. Really enjoyed those products that I got to try. You guys can check out that review there. And there were so many brand suggestions, but one of the top two was Vintner's Daughter. This is a brand that I myself have been super curious about for a lot of reasons. One, because the products have been award-winning across the board. So many people rave about these products, and two, because the price tag is rather hefty for these bad boys. So I have been very curious to try them, trying to figure out kind of what all the fuss is about. And yeah, I'm gonna share with you guys my thoughts. If you haven't seen one of my skincare reviews before, usually we start with like a brief little overview about the brand. I will show you guys me actually using the products while explaining a little bit about them and how they're supposed to work. And then at the end, I'll do a quick wrap up of my thoughts, what worked for me, any results that I saw, sort of stuff along that lines, just my personal experience with them. I had the chance to try two Vintner's Daughter products, and these are the only two actually available on the market, which we will get into. But I had the chance to try the Active Treatment Essence, which is one of their newer products, and then the kind of holy grail rise to fame product, which is the Vintner's Daughter Active Botanical Serum. So one is an oil, one is an essence. We'll get into more of the specifics about these in a second, but I just want to give a brief brand overview for those of you curious. So these two products are the brainchild of April Gargiulo, who is actually local to me in California, up in Napa. And as you can guess by the name, she does have a history in winemaking. Her family was actually in the winemaking business, and she took a lot of qualities that are present in that business to the skincare line. And by that I mean a lot about quality over quantity and really investing a lot of time into each bottle. Having sort of that agriculture background means that she really knows her way around sourcing ingredients, knows a lot about the importance of how things are farmed, how farms are maintained, and then being very methodical about actually how these products are formulated, so making sure every ingredient is in a ratio that is going to make it the most powerful, the most effective for this formulation. So the story goes, when April was pregnant, like so many other people, she started to pay attention to what was in her ingredients, and from there found that she wanted to create her own line of very active, very effective skincare products. Something that sets Vintner's Daughter apart from other brands is that they only have two products in their line, whereas I think a lot of other brands are focused on growing. This is a brand that really has stayed true to their minimal approach to skincare and has really invested so much time in each formulation that they kind of stand alone, and there doesn't really need to be a whole line of products. As I was reading more and more about the brand, I felt like that was just really emphasized over and over again, that they create products when they want to create products. They don't feel the need to put stuff out there just to put stuff out there. And I honestly think that's really refreshing, especially in kind of the beauty era that we are in. I don't know about you guys, but I get really overloaded with products. For me, having a launch after a launch after a launch after a launch becomes almost too much, where it's like I don't even know if I want any of this because I already have X, Y, and Z. It might just be me feeling a bit of product overload, but let me know in the comments if you guys ever feel that too. Obviously, new products are always exciting, but there is something to be said about brands that are keeping their range really small, really curated, and really high quality, rather than just kind of expanding to meet market demand or to kind of keep up with other brands. That's something that I personally really appreciate about Vintner's Daughter. I know that might not appeal to everyone, but this is a very minimal skincare range and skincare routine. That was one thing that I found in doing this. My skincare routine took probably about 5 minutes, which was really refreshing because I'm used to having so many steps before, which is quite indulgent and sometimes really nice, but I have to be honest, even though I have so much more time right now, I feel almost lazier when it comes to self-care, and I have to remind myself to kind of keep up with it, because I just get in these moods where I don't really want to do anything. I just kind of want to lay around. So it's been really nice to have a super simple routine. But a few more facts about the brand before we get into my actual skincare routine. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, these products are very pricey. However, since the beginning of their brand, they do donate 2% of every purchase to a charity that helps either educate, protect, or empower women and children. So I think that's really important when you're looking at brands now, since there are so many brands everywhere. Where you place your money is obviously really important, because you're giving that brand power and leverage in the community. And so making sure that your dollar is going to a brand that is doing a little something in the background is something that I really appreciate, and I feel like I'm starting to look for more and more now that I have access to so many different brands in the clean beauty sphere, and that's becoming more important to me. And I'm sure a lot of other consumers are feeling the same way, especially right now. So hopefully that's just a little background on the brand. Let's hop into my skincare routine right now so I can show you guys the products that I'm using, how I like them, and talk a little bit more about them specifically. So starting off my skincare routine, 2 steps total are not going to be Vintner's Daughter, and that's just because I need a cleanser and a mask that I've been using every week. But everything else has been Vintner's Daughter for the past 6 weeks. So starting off, depending whether or not I'm wearing makeup, if I'm not wearing makeup, I'll use the Mahalo Unveil Cleanser. This is a balm to oil cleanser. I've really been enjoying it. We can get into this in a different video if you guys want to hear more about it. This is kind of my cleanse. If I am wearing makeup, I actually use the Pi Rosehip Oil Cleanser first, because I found that the Mahalo one isn't super comfortable to remove eye makeup with. So as a first cleanse, I'll use the Pi Oil Cleanser, which is so great if you have sensitive eyes. Just really in general for removing eye makeup, it's my favorite oil cleanser. So really enjoying that. And after my cleansing step, once or twice a week, I have been using the Mahalo Petal Mask. Again, I can go into more detail about this in another video if you guys are interested, but let's just focus on the Vintner's Daughter stuff today. So after those steps are done, that's when the Vintner's Daughter routine comes in. And these 2 products really replace a whole host of products for me, namely a toner, an elixir, a moisturizer, a serum, an eye cream. All of that stuff is fulfilled in these 2 products. So this is all I have been using. To start off, I use the Active Botanical Essence, and it comes in at $225. I did reach out to Integrity Botanicals, who then in turn reached out to Vintner's Daughter just to confirm that across the board, if you use these products as instructed, they will last for 8 weeks. So that's morning and night application of both of these products. So there is actually an application method that they do recommend called like the press pat method, which is something I feel like most people do anyway, but it's good to remember that. So when you actually take the amount of essence out of the container that you need, just for a quick second, you combine the 2 to your hands. This is a fast absorbing product, so you want to be quick with that. Rub it between your hands just to get it nice and coated, and then actually start pressing and patting it into your face for about 10 seconds. And at that point, it will already feel pretty much absorbed into your skin with a little bit of dampness. So in essence, is a little bit confusing for a lot of people, but it is sort of like the toner step or the elixir step. This is what's really going to be hydrating your skin. So rather than keeping your skin hydrated, this actually goes deep into your skin and penetrates to hydrate your skin, if that makes sense. So we can go into this in more detail when I talk about the serum, but really the serum acts as more of like a barrier and a protectant to lock in moisture, whereas this is the moisture that your skin drinks up and makes your skin feel plump and hydrated and healthy. So this product actually takes a full 5 weeks to make. There's a fermentation process that happens, as well as really consciously crafting this formula with active ingredients that are really going to do something. So I did hear in an interview April say you need to check to make sure you're not allergic or sensitive to any ingredient that we put in this, because we don't just put in an ingredient at like a minuscule amount just to slap the name on the ingredients list. Everything that's in here is in an amount that will actually do something to your skin and actually help and actually benefit. There are so many ingredients in here. I'm gonna let you guys read them yourself, but really what this product is supposed to do is brighten and hydrate your skin, deliver like next level nutrition, some micro exfoliating, and it's also supposed to help with firming. So there are some different ingredients that I can highlight. The ones that are going to be most familiar are things like vitamin C. There is micro and mini hyaluronic acid in this. There are peptides. There are also plant enzymes that help to sort of exfoliate your skin. And personally, I was most excited to try this product because of sort of the exfoliation and brightening. I suffer a lot from texture and a lot from pigment. So this was the product that I was really curious about. When it actually applies to your skin, like I mentioned, it does sink in quite quickly, and you do get a bit of a vinegary smell, which I'm guessing is that fermented ingredient that's in this, which really excited me. I think bacteria is so interesting in how we can use good bacteria to benefit our skin and sort of repair our skin barrier is really interesting, and I'm sure that a lot of brands in the future will be harnessing fermentation and bacteria, if they haven't already, to put into skincare. But you do get that slight vinegary smell. It does dissipate very quickly, but what does last for about 10 to 15 minutes is almost a tackiness to your skin. So your skin isn't damp, but it's a little bit tacky, where if you touch it just for a second, you feel like a slight stick, if that makes sense. It's not like if you put your face up to a piece of paper, it would stick to it, but it's just a slight tackiness. And like I said, they'll last for about 10 to 15 minutes when you apply this, and then it's totally absorbed into your skin and you don't feel anything anymore. I also did have some slight tingling when I first started using this product. For the first day or two, I would get a little bit of tingling and feel something on my skin when I was using this, sort of like you might feel when you use a toner or maybe like one of those pads, those exfoliating pads that you can use on your face. But it dissipated really quickly, and after a couple of days I no longer felt it. Occasionally I'll feel it again if I've really exfoliated my face with like a washcloth beforehand. Those areas that I've like kind of rubbed a little bit, like around my nose, I'll feel that tingle again. So I can imagine that for sensitive skin you might feel that tingle a little bit more frequently. After applying the essence, it's time to put on the serum, and this is called a serum, but much like the Youth Dew from May Lindstrom, which is also called a serum, is an oil product. This was the first product that Vintner's daughter launched, and sort of it blew up. Like, it was everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. This is 30 milliliters for $185, and when you use it, you use about 5 to 6 drops. I tend to use 5 in the morning and 6 at night, but that is plenty to cover my entire face, my neck, and then down on kind of my décolleté area. So when applying this, I spend a little bit more time warming this up in the palm of my hand before again pressing it onto my face in that pat and press method that they recommend. I spend about 30 seconds just kind of pressing it into areas of my face, and then really that's the end of my skincare routine. So this active botanical serum is a really nourishing product, but it's also kind of a balancing and protecting and anti-inflammatory product. So it feels as though it targets more of the like top layers of your skin, where it feels as though the essence is meant to penetrate deeper into your skin. As I mentioned before, this product will last you 8 weeks if you are using it the recommended amount during the day and at night. This product takes about 3 weeks to make, so again, this is really slow beauty. There's a lot of time and a lot of effort put into this, but through that process, I'm going to read directly from the website. You get 60 plus skin beautifying vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, antioxidants, phytoceramides, aminos, and omega fatty acids for full spectrum skin beautifying nutrition. And this is one that they recommend for all skin types. And as I mentioned before, it really does sort of full spectrum, nourishing, helps with inflammation, helps with protecting your skin, helps with maintaining your barrier, and also just regenerating your skin to have sort of a brighter, more luminous appearance. And I will say that this also has some cosmetic effect to it. The second day that I tried this, I went and I was visiting with my family, and my sister was there, and she immediately asked me, she said, "What do you have on your skin? It looks so good." And I had this on my skin, and I was like, wow, I just used it for the first time last night, and now she's saying this. And I have heard that this is a product that actually spread a lot through word of mouth between women, sort of complimenting each other on their skin and saying like, what do you have on? And they're like, oh, well, it's this great serum that I found. And so you do get this kind of cosmetic effect to it, while you're also getting, of course, all of the actual active ingredients that are helping to repair your skin and keep it nice and healthy. Although this is an oil, it doesn't feel like the typical face oil. It doesn't sort of sit on top of your skin. It feels, after you have kind of patted and pressed it in for about 30 seconds, It feels almost like you have maybe a thin layer of something, but it's not slippery like previous face oils that I've tried, and there's pros and cons to that. A pro is obviously if you're wearing it throughout the day, makeup applies great over the top of it. You don't look oily. You do have some glow to you, so you should be aware of that. If you're really adverse to glow, this is not the product for you. But the kind of con of that is because it sinks into your skin and is absorbed, you can't really do gua sha or facial massage with either of these products really. Especially in combination, I found that the tackiness was still there, and so there's no slip to whatever massage tool you're using. So that's something to keep in mind if you're a big gua sha user. These probably aren't the products that you want to use for that. Obviously, without the essence, you don't really have that tacky feeling to your skin, but this still absorbs into your skin quite quickly, so you can't really glide a tool over the top of it. Personally, I love the scent of this. It is floral and gorgeous and just really refreshing. It just feels like, yeah, it just feels like when you walk into a big field that smells just so amazing. I really love the smell of this. I feel like I'd wear it as a perfume. Something to note though is there are photosensitizing oils in this, lemon and bergamot. So if you are wearing these products, you do need an SPF over the top of it. I usually wear an SPF, but one day I was sitting by the window in our San Francisco apartment and we have a big bay window and so much sunlight comes in and I wasn't wearing SPF and I was a little bit pink at the end of the day. So I have pretty much every day since then been wearing SPF with these products. If you are wondering, do I need both? Do I just need one of these products? Here's what I can say, which comes directly from their website. Both of these products can be used individually or together. This product is mainly meant for sort of dehydrated skin. If you have fine lines, if you're concerned about the plumpness of your skin, if you have like an uneven skin tone, some discolorations, then the essence really targets those issues. And then the more sort of general, will work for everyone, will do great things for everyone product is the Active Botanical Serum. So this was again their first product. It really works for everyone. Both of these are formulated for people who suffer from acne. They're meant to target that as well. So you can kind of pick and choose what would work for you, whether you think you need both or whether you think you just need one. I will say that Integrity Botanicals, which is where I'm linking these products down below to, does offer a complimentary sample of the essence with a purchase of the Active Botanical Serum. So you could always try just the serum, get a complimentary sample of the essence, and see if you like it, see if you need both, see if you can just work with one. At the point where I am in my life, I personally could not afford both of these products. That's not something that's realistic to me. However, when I look at all of the steps that these have replaced for me, I think it makes logical sense to me that I could purchase one or the other of these products and sort of have a very minimal skincare routine that probably would equal the same cost as having a multi-step skincare routine from a more affordable brand. So that's something to keep in mind. I was really pleasantly surprised by the results. I am suffering some hormonal breakouts right now. Lucky for me, got my period right before this video, so I'm kind of healing from a couple of hormonal spots that popped up on my chin and underneath my nose, which is great. So I haven't necessarily seen a reduction in that sort of acne where it's almost like unavoidable. Every month I'm gonna get a spot or two right before my period. But what I have seen is really so much improvement on pigmentation, which is something that I'm really self-conscious about and I really struggle with, and I haven't found a product that I can consistently see it getting better and better and better. Some products, and especially some vitamin C products, I've seen great results when I first start using it and then they gradually start to taper off and I feel like I'm just left in the same spot. But with these, I've seen a reduction in pigmentation, and with these more hormonal, like red, raised spots, they don't leave as much of a post-inflammatory scar as usually I get. I get that like brown scar from any sort of texture on my skin, which is really frustrating and hard to get rid of. But with these products, I've noticed that that is not as much of an issue for me anymore. And the other thing that I was really happy about is that the texture on my cheeks is minimal compared to what it used to be. So I feel fortunate because my sort of acne is either like these hormonal spots or its texture, which can be not easily covered up in real life, but it doesn't always translate. For example, when I'm on camera and there's, natural light coming towards me, you guys don't get to see all of kind of the texture and bumpiness that I have on the sides of my cheeks. And that's something that in real life I'm pretty self-conscious about and definitely aware of. And it has reduced so much from these products that I feel really confident, really happy with how my cheeks are looking. So I'm okay if I get these few little hormonal breakouts as long as my texture stays away. And then generally speaking, just every day, because I'm not wearing a lot of makeup recently, it has been nice to have the cosmetic effect of the Active Botanical Serum and feel kind of glowy and lifted. And like I said, it really only took one day for someone to say, "What is on your skin? It looks so glowy and beautiful." So that's always a boost of confidence and something nice to hear. And so the immediate cosmetic effect of the Botanical Serum is really nice. For a little bit of context, I do have dehydrated skin. Like I said, a lot of texture to my skin, so that's why I was mostly excited about this active treatment essence, and that's probably the product that I would repurchase because I feel like this has done the most for me and really targets the issues that I'm particularly concerned with, whereas the Active Botanical Serum was absolutely beautiful and I would love to continue to have this in my routine, but I might use up like other face oils first before I would go back and repurchase this one. I just need something that really targets sort of those issues that I was talking about. If you're really interested in trying this brand and you want to get both of them, they complement each other beautifully and you really do have a complete skincare routine with just these and a cleanser. There's a lot that I appreciate about this brand just in terms of their minimal approach to self-care and beauty, and also the time and the quality of these products. I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but I'm starting to lean more towards brands that are like a little bit slower, that aren't putting stuff out all the time, which doesn't necessarily mean that the things that those brands are putting out aren't quality. Oftentimes it is, but I like a slower pace. I like to try something and enjoy something and not feel pressure to buy something right away. I am of course curious to see what this brand holds in the future, and I have no doubt that it will be as gorgeous as these two products, as high quality as these two products. And yeah, I've just really been enjoying the skincare routine. So if I can answer any other questions, please let me know down in the comments. I hope this was helpful and gave you a little bit of insight. Thank you so much for suggesting me to try these. Like I said, this is on my wish list too. A huge thank you to Integrity Botanicals. This is not a sponsored video, but they were kind enough to gift me these two products, and they did tell me that the Active Botanical Serum is one of their best-selling products, so that does not come as a shock after trying it. And all these products will be linked down below. I'm happy to answer any other questions that you guys have. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I will be back on Thursday with April favorites. So I'm excited for that, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!